There's something about just going out really with no plan. You're just going out. In this regard, I'm talking about a run. Just had a 6-piece, 5 biscuits. No, I'm playing. I just had a 6-mile run, 5 strides, 20-second strides. And, I used to listen to all sorts of different type of music, especially when I have more intense runs. I listen to, sometimes I'll throw on some Goggins. Sometimes I'll listen to like something that's like kind of more hardcore, like hip hop or rap. Lately, I found really my main genre when it comes to really performing and overall having fun with the run, and that is R&B. Okay, shout out my boy CB. Listen, I know they got you, dog, but hey, listen, I can still decipher the tracks. You know what I'm saying? So I really noticed that. But what I really want to touch on just briefly in this video is I want to talk about spelling, right? And I think it's very important how you speak, not only out to the world, but especially in regards to yourself. A lot of people are kind of putting themselves down in a societal, joking, relating type of manner, when really they're literally putting themselves down, right? If you look at etymology, which I'm no scholar, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, oftentimes better than the master of one. They don't tell you the rest of that phrase. So I'm not a scholar when it comes to etymology, but what I do know is that a lot of these words, a lot of these spelling words hold vibration. So, I think of people saying, oh man, life's hard, or I'm grinding. Grinding means to wear down. Good morning. Mourning means to, be sad over a loss. Things aren't working out for me. Oh yeah, man. This world's crazy. I don't know what's gonna happen to me. People talk out of the side of their head because they've been programmed to talk in such a way, and truly it's hurting, or it's hindering you from the quality of life that you truly want. And I think the reason why I even thought of this topic is because when I go into, just using running for example, when I go into a run and I have more of a rigid mindset, I tend to not, I still am able to perform, but it's much harder than me going into a run and just going to have fun with it. You know what I mean? And like I said, I noticed that when I ran 18 last Sunday, I noticed that when I was running, I was listening to just R&B. I was listening to some old CB. I've been a CB fan since day one, and I was listening to some old CB. And again, it's a lot of R&B, it's a lot of love, it's a lot of that type of energy, talking about females, and you know what I mean. And I've always, gravitated towards that, but it's much lighter, it's much airier versus listening to airier, meaning just like loose and free, compared to listening to like David Goggins. So it's like, F that, you gotta go through pain. Your life's gonna suck, man. Your life's gonna suck. And although I do get and understand what he means and what people that talk like that mean by that, and even I've made videos in the past talking in such a light, I think when you really just kind of let go and you're really aware of what you're saying, especially obviously how you're thinking, because that comes before what you say, I think you're really able to create something special within yourself that's going to flow out of you, and that's going to make this journey not even a whole lot easier, but a whole lot more enjoyable. So I feel like I'm not really on the topic super strong of spelling, but I think it's very important just in general to just be aware of how you're speaking, again, not only to yourself, but out to the world. Because if you're saying like, man, I don't know what's going on, or if you are judging things in a way of giving your power away or putting yourself down, you are surely going to be reaping those fruits, because just like the saying goes, you reap what you sow. So make sure you're talking about yourself in a light way. Listen, we come from it. We come from it. We come from the Almighty, okay? And I'm not necessarily religious, because if you break down the etymology of that word, you'll really see it for what it's worth. I'm not really religious, but we come from the light. You know what I'm saying? We come from the divine. We come from infinite love and light, okay? And darkness is just the lack of light. It's not pure, you know what I'm saying? It's just the lack of light. Okay, I don't want to get into too much more detail. I just wanted to share those thoughts with you. Hope you guys are having a good Friday, a good weekend. You know, some festivities and whatnot going on. Just make sure you're celebrating it for yourself and not anything that's outside of you. So anyways, love and light to all, love and light. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.